Hello world, my name is Justin. I was unfortunately arrested Saturday night around 12:20 here at the intersection of Avalon and Mulat. I'm just going to kind of walk through in this video just to show you guys exactly what I did, what I said, and I'll just kind of do like a narrative of what actually happened. Alright, so here we go. So there was a fatal car accident. Me and my daughters were returning from the movies, and we ended up getting directed from around here. There were some cops down there near those portable buildings. If you can see them, we had to take a right there. We had to go around. One of my daughters stated, "Man, because we only live about 1/8 of a mile from right here." One of my daughters stated, "Dad, I hope that's nobody we know." So I said, "Hey, well, when we get around, we'll stop in there and just see if we notice any of the cars." So we ended up parking right there on the other side of the white vehicle now, near that vacuum thing. We parked right there and walked. I'm gonna turn this camera around here. And we walked right down here on this sidewalk. The car crash, it involved a motorcycle. The motorcycle was on the other side next to the street pole over there. And I didn't see it at the time, but there ended up being, God rest his soul, a man that was still laying in the road. It was 2 fatalities that happened. But so I walked down this sidewalk, just like this. There's no crime scene tape that was up. There was nothing in the way. My daughters stood right there on this hill. There were some other people that were standing right about there. There were people down here at the traffic light on the sidewalk. And then there was a Jeep where this truck's parked at right now. There was a Jeep with some people standing around it. So as I'm walking right here, and I have some pictures, there's gonna be a lot of video to come back, but there was a cop car right about here, facing, his headlights were facing this way, towards me from right here. And this was the very first vehicle that was involved in anything. And then there was nothing past him, and then there were some more cars down this way. Well, so I come up and I walk to right here. I come all the way to stand at this point, and I asked the people in the Jeep, I said, "Hey, are y'all okay?" And as soon as I said that, out from about right there, I hear somebody say something like, "Hey, state your business." Immediately, I just kind of like pointed at myself, like, are you talking to me? And it's night, it's pitch black dark. And he says, "Are you part of this crime scene?" I said, "No." He said, "Then get out of here." I said, "Oh, okay." So then what I'd started doing, immediately turned, and I started walking down kind of this way. And I looked back at him and I made the comment, I don't know if this was private property or public property. I didn't know where I could stand at to see. And he says, get out of my fucking active crime scene right now, or you're getting arrested. Well, as soon as he did that, I laughed, because obviously that's how you deal with anybody that's being ugly or rude, or anybody that's acting like an idiot. You laugh at them. So I laughed. As soon as I laughed, he said, "Oh, you think it's funny? Keep laughing. You're going to go your ass to jail." And I started laughing even harder. And I said, "Laughing for going to jail? Yeah, that'd be the day." Like, okay. And then I get to about right here. Here's this pole. Again, the last car was right here. I'm over here. And this right here, so he tells me one more time, laugh again and you're going to jail. I turn around, I look at him. I smile and say, "Okay, well, am I far enough away? How far do I got to go?" Something along those lines is what I told him. He said, "Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest." So I immediately put my hands behind my back. My kids were standing right there. My 14-year-old and my 16-year-old minor children standing right there. 2 other people were standing right there. Again, the last cop car was there. The dead man was across the street. There were some cars that were parked right there. But he puts me in cuffs, takes me to his truck that was sitting right there. Truck. I asked him because he had put my hands behind my back. I let him know I was a disabled veteran. Puts my hands behind my back. I couldn't get in the truck. I asked him to help me up in the truck. He said, "Get in the truck your fucking self." Excuse my language. This was him cussing, but this is important for this video. So I said, okay. So I had to face plant into the seat of the truck and crawl up there. I get in the truck. Ask him what I'm getting arrested for. What's the charge? Because laughing's not a crime. He says it'll be on my report. I ask him his name. "Oh, it'll be on your report." I said, okay. He asked me for my name and my birth date. I gave it to him. And then when I asked him again, what am I being charged with? He stated, he read me my rights. And then I said, okay, well, now that you're done doing that, what am I being charged with? And he didn't answer. And then he asked me, where do I live at, or where I'm from? Something like that. I didn't answer him. He already read me my rights. I gave him my identification, so I didn't answer him. So now all of a sudden he says, oh, okay, be that way. That's another effing charge. Failure to identify. I said, well, I've already identified myself. I've identified myself. I gave you my name and birth date. And I stayed quiet. Then he said, how do you spell your last name? I told him. Then we get on the interstate, and as we make the turn, I get slammed into the door, and I realize he didn't have my seatbelt buckled up. He never buckled me up on my seatbelt. Well, I let him know he didn't buckle me up on my seatbelt. If he wasn't gonna stop to buckle me up, that if he could just stop taking the turn so excessive. I get to the jailhouse. Again, I've never been arrested. I was in the military. I have no problem with law enforcement. I think this is an unfortunate incident that just happened. But it definitely just happened, and he's got the wrong guy. He ends up hitting me with failure to obey. And I asked, obey what? Because I clearly walked away from where he told me to go. The only thing I didn't do was stop laughing. I don't have to stop laughing. They can't make you or me or anyone else stop laughing. That's crazy. I even asked him when he put me in handcuffs, you're arresting me for laughing? He said, yep. Well, he had some other choice words, but yeah. He agreed that he was arresting me for laughing. He obviously didn't write that on his report. I can post the report as well. It's kind of crazy. But then he taunts me. Once I'm in the jail cell, he then goes by the jail cell about an hour after I've been sitting in there. He goes by the glass. I smile at him because his name is Jason Whitfield, by the way. If anybody knows Jason Whitfield, Milton, Florida, he's a special guy. Just ask him. He'll tell you how special he is. But so he walks by the glass, and I'm smiling, and he comes up to the glass, and he tells me, oh, you're still laughing. Oh, keep on laughing. You still think it's funny. Okay, so I laughed and said, yeah, I think it's funny. You're about to find out why. Because this is crazy. I will not be silent. I cannot believe I just got arrested the first time in my life for laughing. My mom kind of thinks it's funny. She says this case is going to be named No Laughing Matter. That maybe y'all like that as much as I liked it. This is crazy. There's going to be plenty of video. There were 15, 20 cop cars sitting here. The officer did not have his body camera on. When I asked him, you don't have your body camera? He looked at me, smiled, and said, nope. The deputy that was with him, that helped him walk me to the truck, I guess, had his camera on him. I said, hey, well, you got yours on. Is that thing on? He looked at me, looked back at the cop, looked back at me, and said, no. So I said, well, we're going to find out. So this is not the situation I ever thought I'd be in. I don't care about messing with law enforcement or proving my point. I mean, I just came to see if I had a friend that was in a car accident and got arrested for laughing by a complete douchebag. That is Jason Whitfield. He does not belong on the police force. And this is the first of many videos. But that's my story. That's what happened. Obviously, he lied on his report, but they can't get away from cameras, and there are so many cameras. Bystanders were taking videos. They've already sent me videos. They're going to test. They said they'd be witnesses for me. These are people I do not know. I don't know them. They just saw it happen. They were blown away. Nobody stopped. No, not one police officer talked to my children. I told my kids, call your mom, call your mom. The whole time the deputy was just telling me to shut up and everything else while I'm saying this. Nobody checked on my children. Nobody made